Bitcoin right now is looking super bullish in this area as much as this MACD indicator has been making downticks to the downside, you can see that we've been going sideways in the market and using this 20 EMA as support to the upside. Plus Ethereum on this weekly time frame has also got this positively trending EMA, also trying to retest this 2023 high back in April. I also have a lot of crypto news to go through with you today, so make sure you watch the video until the end. Plus, make sure to smash that like button, make sure to smash the subscribe button, and leave a comment on what you'd like me to go over in these daily crypto videos. Starting off with Bitcoin on the daily time frame. Bitcoin in this area had a really strong push to the upside, and now we're basically getting a sideways trading range price action. Now, once we have a really strong break to the upside and then we get this sideways price action, it gives a high probability of continued momentum to the upside, as we're basically allowing price to finally catch up to this average price through here, this 20 exponential moving average. Plus, we also have it sloping to the upside, which gives us that higher probability of the continued momentum. This MACD indicator has been ticking below the zero line to the negative side, but you can see that price is basically going sideways while we've been down ticking in this area, which is showing that there is a lot of buying momentum in this current market. I always like to start my trading day looking at Bitcoin on the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, we also have this positive slope on the EMA, giving us a high probability of continuing to the upside. Here we're actually retesting this 2023 high that did happen back in April. We are getting a bit of a rejection in this area. We're getting doji bar, doji bar, doji bar. We've got 3 weekly doji bars in a row, and we've currently just opened up the new weekly bar. Overall, you would know that this short-term and medium-term EMA in between is known as the value zone, and look what happens every time Bitcoin is coming into this value zone. People are buying in this area. People are buying in this area, and it looks like we are going to have that continued upside momentum. It's just higher probability at this current time. Comparing it to Ethereum on the weekly time frame, we also have this positive slope on the EMA, but it's not quite as bullish as Bitcoin. Bitcoin is already retesting this 2023 high that happened back in April, whereas Ethereum is still around 10 to 15% away from that current price point. But we are using this value zone between the short and medium term EMA as supports, pushing to the upside, so we're still extremely bullish. If we then flick over to the daily time frame on Ethereum, again we're still in that bullish time frame because we have that positive slope on the EMA. We're basically making a bit of a wedge to the upside where we get 1 push, 2 push. Once we get 3 pushes to the upside, it is known as a wedge pattern, and you will see sellers coming into the market. That's exactly what happened. We pushed up above this $2,000 level per Ethereum, then had a really strong rejection in this area, pushing down around 5 to 6%. But we're still in this value zone right here between the short and medium term. So the weekly time frame and daily time frame are all pointing to the positive direction, which tells me that there's that high probability of continued upside momentum. Now looking at XRP, we had this major push to the upside just a couple of days ago as they finally announced their victory against the SEC. XRP has been in a lawsuit with the SEC for a very long time, and now they've won their case and they're no longer being sued by the SEC. We've got the positive slope on the EMA. We've got this value zone between the medium and short-term EMA. It does make sense. We either make a bit of a triangle in this area, allow the short and medium-term EMA to catch up, then actually retest it in this area, and then continue to the upside. Since we've got this really strong upside breakout, and now we're basically been traveling sideways, slightly down, slightly up, slightly down, slightly up in this direction, it gives us high probability of continued momentum to the upside. I recently made a price prediction for XRP showing this trading range that we have been trading in through on this weekly time frame, and we've finally broken out of this trading range price action in this area. It does make sense that if price was to take a bit of a downturn, then we come back and actually retest this price in this area, because we did have initial resistance. This resistance has now been broken up to the upside. It now makes sense that these levels through here will then act as a support level. So when price If it does come back down into this area, there is no guarantee, but if it was to come back, it would then give a high probability of again continuing to the upside. So overall, the entire crypto market is looking extremely bullish at this current price point. We even flick over to Binance Coin and let's have a look at it on the daily time frame. I was taking multiple trades on Binance Coin in the last few weeks. As we know, we have this downwards trending EMA. Once we have the downwards trending EMA, we want to be getting into our trade in the value zone. I got into my trade right here when we just spiked into the 20 EMA, and I had a 3% risk and I made over 9% reward for a 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio. But I was speaking about in this area right through here, we finally got a break above this 20 EMA. All this price, all back here, we never closed above the 20 EMA basically since May of this year. And when we finally did get a break above this 20 EMA, it did signal to me that potentially this downwards momentum was going to end, and now looking for those bullish pushes to the upside. And we've basically been in this trading range price action where we've basically got resistance in this upper band, and we've also got a lot of support in this lower band. So it does make sense that price is traveling between these prices. Reason being is it allows the 20 EMA to finally catch up. If we scroll out, you can see how we really had a really strong downward sloping EMA. When we go sideways in this direction, look at what's happening to the EMA. The EMA through this area is finally sideways. We're not having a really strong downward sloping EMA, and that's why price is basically going sideways. We're then going to confirm, are we going to get a continued upside breakout or are we going to get a continued downside breakout? It does make sense that there is a slight higher probability that through this area, we do get a bit of a downside breakout, because what's happened in the past is we got a really strong breakout to the downside. It does make sense to at least continue a bit of that momentum. But overall, if the entire crypto market is extremely bullish, then it will be very hard for Binance Coin not to also follow this bullish price action. Now looking at Litecoin on the daily time frame, we know that in this area, roughly on the 1st of August is when we're going to have the Litecoin halving, and we've seen in the past that Litecoin usually has an extremely strong come up right before its halving level. Since we got this really strong breakout to the upside, also followed by another strong breakout to the upside, sort of going sideways in this area, slightly down, slightly up, slightly down price action, it does make sense again to continue to the upside. As much as this EMA has basically been going sideways, we have had a really strong slope in this area through here. So again, looks like we aren't going to get that continued momentum to the upside. Really, the goal of trading is to buy low in these areas and potentially sell high in these areas. I do believe there is a good amount of chance that we do break at least above this high for Litecoin, but there is no guarantee, and this is obviously not financial advice. If I do expect an upside breakout, at least in this area, there will be at least a small amount of sellers, and that would be a really positive trade. All the way up into this area is roughly 25% profit, and below this area, we can put that 3% stop loss, looking for that 25% gain. Obviously, a massive risk to reward. Let's even say that the probability of this trade was only roughly 30 to 40%. If you were to plug this into your trader's equation, you would find that this is an extremely profitable trade. If you're able to take it 100 times continuously in the market, you would nearly be guaranteed to have a profitable long-term trading strategy. Now let's look at some of the latest crypto news. It doesn't look like it's ever been the halving. Clever if Satoshi tried to line it up though. It's a liquidity cycle world and Bitcoin lives in it. So you can see this chart through here, which is actually showing these parabolas in every single bull run, followed by a small amount of decline in this market. What it's basically showing through this area is when we're above this 20 moving average, that is really the time to be selling out of the market. And every time we're below this 20 moving average is usually a really strong time to be entering in the market. And right now, look at what's happening. We're just currently getting out of that below 20 moving average level support zone, now looking to finally cross above, and this would be the area that eventually we want to look for those sales. We want to be buying below in this 20 moving average and then selling above the 20 moving average we can see that continuously this strategy has worked extremely well. We've got move confirmations. Once we finally get this crossover into this positive zone, that's when we get that parabola to the upside. And look at the area that we're right in. We're literally just crossed over now, expecting that parabola again to the upside. Now this is talking about the one super cycle since inception. Final move up before the biggest test for Bitcoin yet. Log channel will be broken to the downside eventually. Bitcoin will not go up and down like this forever. So we can see we basically got this parabola to the upside every time we're using this log trading strategy. We're bouncing between the upper band. Every time we come to this lower band, it's always a good idea to be looking to buying in the market. Then looking to push to this top of the upper band and look at the area that we're just coming out of. We're basically in the bottom 25% of this trading range, because it is a slightly uptick trading range between this bottom end of the channel and this top end of the channel. So overall, looking to buy in the bottom 25% of the channel and then looking to sell in the top 25% of the channel. Also showing here with this MACD indicator that we've been in this red zone below this area here. We've finally got the first uptick on this MACD, again signaling that we are going to have continued momentum to the upside. And Bitcoin is entering expansion as accumulation comes to an end. We basically got this accumulation wick-off series right here, which if we look at the current price action that's been happening for the last few months of Bitcoin and actually compare it through here where we've got phase A, B, C, D, and E, look at the area that we're currently in right now. We're basically right here, right between this phase D and phase E area, coming to the end of the phase D, beginning in the phase E, getting that sideways trading price action, which I've been talking about the last few weeks for Bitcoin, has been slightly up and slightly down in the market, then looking to get continued momentum to the upside. Also talking about these resistance lines where through here, initially resistance, resistance, resistance. Once resistance gets broken to the upside, it then acts as a support level, exactly like what's happened here. Now looking for that continuous momentum to the upside. If you haven't already, make sure to smash the like button, make sure to smash the subscribe button, and leave a comment on what particular coins you'd like me to go through in these daily crypto videos. If you'd like to continue watching my trading videos, click on the video right now on the screen to continue your trading journey.